The city of Oakhaven does not wake up. It simply changes the frequency of its noise. The daylight brings the grinding of gears and the shouting of vendors. But the night is for the low hum of electricity and the hiss of tires on wet asphalt. It is raining. It is always raining in the district of Lower Ward. We begin in the back of an ambulance. The lighting is harsh, clinical fluorescent white, flickering slightly with every bump in the road. Elias Thorne sits hunched over a stretcher. He is not a soldier. He is not a billionaire. He is a paramedic with dark circles under his eyes that look like bruises. His hands are gloved in blue nitrile, and they are shaking. On the stretcher lies a boy, no older than 12. Collateral damage from a dispute over turf that neither the boy nor Elias understands. The siren wails outside, a lonely, desperate sound. Inside, the only sound is the rhythmic, mechanical hiss of the ventilator and the erratic beeping of the heart monitor. Elias is pushing drugs, epinephrine, atropine. He is doing everything the protocol demands. He is doing everything right. But the beeping slows. It creates a hollow space in the air. Beep, beep, silence. A flat line. A single, unending tone that screams of failure. Elias stares at the boy's chest. It is still. "No," Elias whispers. His voice is cracked, dry. "Not this time." He places his hands on the boy's chest to start compressions again, even though the driver up front is shouting that it's over, that they're calling it. But Elias refuses. He pushes down. And that is when the world breaks. It isn't a miracle. It isn't a beam of light from the heavens. As Elias pushes, a surge of heat, violent and jagged, erupts from his solar plexus. It travels down his arms like liquid magma. Thump. The ambulance lurches. The windows don't just break, they turn to dust. The metal roof buckles outward as if a giant fist has punched it from the inside. The vehicle spins out of control, tires screeching against the rain-slicked road, crashing into a concrete divider. Blackness. Fade in. Sound returns first. A high-pitched ringing like a tuning fork struck against a nerve. Elias is lying on the pavement. The rain hits his face, but it doesn't feel cold. It sizzles. Steam rises from his skin. He sits up, gasping. The ambulance is a twisted wreck, a nearly unrecognizable sculpture of steel and glass. The driver is groaning, climbing out of the cab, bloodied but alive. But the back of the ambulance is gone. Just gone. Disintegrated. And the boy? The boy is still dead. Elias looks at his hands. The blue gloves have melted into his skin, leaving burns that are already healing, knitting together with a sickening wet sound. He feels a vibration in his marrow, a hum that matches the frequency of the city's power grid. He didn't save anyone. He just destroyed everything around him. He scrambles backward, terrified of his own weight, feeling like if he presses too hard against the asphalt, he might crack the earth's crust. He runs. He runs into the shadows of the alleyways, leaving footprints of scorched concrete behind him. Cut to a penthouse apartment overlooking the city. The view is magnificent and terrible. Oakhaven looks like a circuit board of gold and rot. Julian Vane stands by the floor-to-ceiling glass. He wears a suit that costs more than Elias makes in a year, but he wears it loosely, like a man who doesn't care about the trappings of wealth, only the utility of power. He is watching the news on a tablet, aerial footage of the ambulance crash. The commentators are confused. They are talking about a gas line explosion, a freak lightning strike. Julian zooms in on the image. He sees the blast radius. It is perfectly spherical. Entropy, Julian whispers. He takes a sip of water. Finally, a counterweight. Julian turns to the room. It is filled with blueprints, not for buildings, but for a new society. He believes Oakhaven is a gangrenous limb. He believes the corruption, the crime, the slow decay cannot be treated. It must be amputated. The foundation is rotten, Julian says to the empty room. We don't need repairs. We need a demolition. 3 days pass. Elias is hiding in the basement of his apartment building. He huddles in the corner, shivering. Every time he gets angry, every time he gets scared, the light bulb above him explodes. He hasn't slept. He can feel the kinetic energy of the building above him, the footsteps of neighbors, the settling of the foundation. It all flows into him. He is a vessel for every impact, every vibration. It hurts. It feels like his bones are vibrating apart. He turns on a small radio. The news is grim. A domestic terrorist group, led by a man identifying himself only as the architect, has seized the Grandview Dam. They're not asking for money. They are broadcasting a manifesto. The voice on the radio is calm. It is Julian Vane. Citizens of Oakhaven, do not panic. We are merely accelerating the inevitable. The water behind this dam is like the pressure of your debt, your fear, your suffering. I am going to release it. I am going to wash the filth from the streets. It will be a hard day, but the sun will rise on a clean city tomorrow. Elias stares at the radio. The Grandview Dam overlooks the lower ward, his neighborhood, the place where the ambulance crashed, the place where the boy died. If that dam breaks, thousands drown. Elias looks at his hands. They are trembling. The air around his fingers warps, like heat rising off hot pavement. I can't, he whispers. I'll kill them. If I touch it, I'll break it. But then he remembers the silence, the flat line, the feeling of helplessness. He stands up. The concrete floor cracks under his boots. He doesn't have a costume. He grabs a heavy canvas jacket and a welding mask from the maintenance closet to hide his face. Not for glory, but for shame. He steps out into the rain. The scene at the Grandview Dam is chaos. Police lights flash uselessly against the massive concrete wall, holding back millions of gallons of dark water. Julian Vane stands atop the spillway. He has rigged the floodgates with sonic charges. He isn't using bombs. He's using resonance. He's going to sing the dam apart. The humming starts, a low, thrumming bass note that shakes the teeth of everyone within a mile. Elias arrives. He doesn't fly, he leaps. He jumps from the roof of a parked car, crushing it flat, and lands on the dam's access road with the force of a meteor. The police freeze. The rioters freeze. Elias walks towards Julian. Every step sounds like a gunshot. Boom, boom, boom. Julian turns, smiling sadly. The anomaly from the ambulance. You survived. Turn it off, Elias grates out. His voice is distorted by the mask, but the raw power behind it causes the glass on the nearby squad cars to shatter. I can't, Julian says, gesturing to the city below. Look at them. They are suffering, a slow death by poverty and corruption. I offer a quick death and a chance for the survivors to build something pure. Why do you fight for a cancer? Because they're people, Elias screams. He lunges. He moves faster than a human should, a blur of motion. He tackles Julian, slamming him into the concrete railing. But Julian is prepared. He activates a gauntlet on his waist, a device that manipulates gravity. He reverses the polarity. Elias is flung backward, slamming into the control tower. The impact doesn't break him, it feeds him. He absorbs the kinetic energy. His eyes glow a terrifying bright violet behind the welding mask. The pain is blinding. He feels like he has swallowed a grenade. You are a battery, Julian observes, adjusting his cuffs. You absorb force, but every battery has a limit. Julian triggers the first charge. Crack. A spiderweb fracture appears on the face of the dam. Water jets out, high-pressure streams that slice through the air. "No!" Elias yells. He scrambles toward the crack. The water hits him with the force of a freight train, but he plants his feet. He slams his hands against the wet concrete. He tries to hold it together. He tries to weld the stone with his own energy. But the power he holds is destructive, not restorative. As he pours energy into the dam, the cracks widen. The vibration of his own power is tearing the structure apart faster. He is making it worse. He pulls his hands back, horrified. He looks at Julian. "You see?" Julian shouts over the roar of the water. "You are a weapon, not a shield. You and I are the same. We are destroyers." Elias falls to his knees. The water is rising around him. The dam groaning, a death rattle of steel and stone. He closes his eyes. He listens to the vibration of the dam, the resonance. To save it, I have to take it. He realizes what he must do. He cannot push the energy out. He must take the energy in. He has to absorb the kinetic force of the collapsing dam. Elias stands up. He removes one glove. He presses his bare palm against the vibrating concrete. "Take it," he whispers. He opens himself up. The sound of the world drops away. The vibration of the crumbling dam flows into his arm. It feels like fire. It feels like his veins are being filled with molten lead. He screams, a sound of pure agony that is lost in the roar of the water. The cracks stop spreading. The shaking ceases. The dam settles. Elias absorbs it all. The potential energy of the water, the kinetic energy of the fracture. He pulls it into his body until his skin turns a translucent, burning purple. He is a walking nuclear bomb. If he lets go, he levels the city. Julian watches, his smile fading. For the first time, he looks unsure. "What are you doing? You'll die." Elias turns to look at Julian. Smoke is pouring from the eye slits of his mask. He cannot speak. He can only move. He looks up at the sky, the heavy, leaden clouds hanging low over the city. Elias crouches. The ground beneath him vaporizes. He leaps. He shoots straight up, a violet comet ascending into the storm. He goes higher, higher past the dam, past skyscrapers, into the heart of the thunderhead. And then he lets go. Boom! The sky lights up. A shock wave clears the clouds for 10 miles in every direction. The rain stops instantly, vaporized by the heat. For a moment, there is perfect silence over Oakhaven. Then, gravity reasserts itself. A body falls from the sky. It crashes into the reservoir behind the dam. A massive splash, but the dam holds. Slow fade in. The banks of the reservoir, mud and debris. Elias drags himself out of the water. He is missing a boot. His jacket is shredded. His mask is gone. His face is burned, marked with fractal patterns that glow faintly before fading. He coughs, spitting up river water. He is alive, but he feels hollowed out, empty. He hears sirens approaching. The police are coming for Julian, who has vanished in the chaos. They will find the dam intact. They will find the city safe. But they won't find a hero standing tall with a cape fluttering in the wind. Elias tries to stand and fails. He crawls toward the tree line. He looks down at his hand. He clenches a fist. A faint spark jumps between his knuckles. Violent, unstable. He saved the city, but he knows the truth. The architect was right. He is dangerous. He leans against a tree, breathing heavily, watching the lights of the city flicker back on, district by district. He isn't a savior. He is a lightning rod. He exists to take the hit so others don't have to. Elias closes his eyes, listening to the distant, rhythmic heartbeat of the city. The rain begins to fall again. This time, when a drop hits his hand, it doesn't sizzle. It just runs cold against his skin. The storm is over. The war has just